I'm free?
Yes.
Okay, that's a great day. Great day. A lot of work went into this day by a lot of people. When you think about, 4.5 months ago, where this thing was, team just being put together, roster being put together, assembling a staff, a fan base. I think that was hungry for some real momentum, and today was a great example, I think, of the progress that's been made in a really short time. A lot of hard work by the people within the walls of our football program, every single person. A lot of hard work by our administration to help create a great atmosphere today, and then our fans responded. I think it was the highest, what they told me outside, is the highest attended spring game in the history of this program. And last time I checked, they've been playing football around here for a few years. So it's pretty cool. I appreciate our fans being out. It was a fun experience, a really fun day. I thought the day was very representative of how the entire spring has gone. Pretty physical on both sides of the football. Some big plays on both sides. Typically sides, something didn't go their way, tend to rebound. So pretty back and forth on the day, and that's been, I would say, very typical of this spring. We threw and caught the ball pretty well offensively, I thought. The line of scrimmage was pretty much a battle, I thought, the whole day. I thought the defense really tackled well. There was a lot of one-on-one open field tackles that I thought were really, really good. Not a ton of missed tackles, yards after contact, so I think that's something you're always eager to see in the spring. So, yeah, it was a great day. I mean, just all together. Great day, a lot of work into it. Obviously, this is just the beginning. This is just a step, but we're really excited about our progress, and we get an opportunity to do it today, put it on display for our fans, put it on display really for the whole country in a national broadcast. Was a great step for us. There's obviously a lot of big steps left to go, but this group's going to be ready for them.
Any questions?
You mentioned some of the stuff you saw on defense, Coach, but maybe as far as your checklist of what you saw on offense, both quarterbacks had some great moments out there. How did you gauge that as far as your stepping stones and your learning curve with this group?
Yeah, I mean, the quarterbacks were both pretty efficient throughout the day. I thought the line did a nice job. We evaded some rushers a few times. We got some pretty athletic, really good rushers on the other side, so it's a pretty good battle. But yeah, I thought both those guys, they both played within the system, which is what you want them to do. And then on some of the unscheduled plays, the decision making was pretty sound. So we had a couple loose plays there in the end, but our defense will cause that. But I've been proud of both of their progress. I think they've gotten both better and better through the spring. They obviously both got to this point via a way different path. Caleb's improved a lot, and then Miller just kind of starting off with us here for the first time. Not as experienced in the system on games, and I've told you guys that he's been doing pretty well, and I think he showed that today.
Lincoln, what was the experience like for you? I know it's not a regular season game, but being able to coach here at the Coliseum, coming out of the tunnel, fans there, etc. What was your experience like?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, what you would expect walking into one of the most historic stadiums and just feeling the momentum of the program right now. I thought it was a day that's very, very fitting. So yeah, it's envision that, and I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't starting to think ahead a little bit towards what it'll feel like in the fall when that place is packed. So it was a blast today. Yeah, just you kind of get you go through this process of putting all this together, and there's so much effort by everybody. You get so just in the moment every single day that it's kind of like, oh wow, this is here, and then there's just a quick second to take a deep breath and appreciate all the work again to get here. I mean, a lot goes into a day like today, and a lot to lead up to it, and so really appreciative of all that work.
Lincoln, seems like the connection between Caleb and Mario is strong, as we would assume, given that they had the year together last year. Where have you seen Mario stand out, especially over the course of the spring and today?
Yeah, he's improved. I mean, he's a talented player. Another guy that has some obviously familiarity with what we were doing. But he's done some good things early in his career. But he started still a long ways to go, and he's worked hard. I mean, this team is really. This team has come together so far, like from so many different paths, and offensive guys have really led us and kind of really just, they made it really easy for the team to come together. There's a very unselfish, humble attitude on this football team and in this program right now, and that's a great sign. And when you got leaders like these guys, that's made it, I think, easier for guys to come into the program. You know, whether it's a Mario or a freshman or a transfer from another place or you name it, it's made it easy for guys to come in, buy into the culture, and do the right thing. When your leaders and some of your best players are setting the tone that way, it happens. And these guys right here are two great examples.
How much better is Caleb now than he was last season, and what do you need from him to get to the point where you want to be comfortable with challenging for championships?
And you just want to keep getting better. I mean, has he improved? Yes. You know, like everybody on this roster, I think he has. I think he's taken steps. In the quarterback position to win championships, you need that position to play well. So he's getting better. He's getting more comfortable. He's becoming a more seasoned, experienced quarterback. You know, I don't know what the attention's on him, but we're going to need that at all positions. We're going to need that at our Mike linebacker. We're going to need that at our left guard. We're going to need that everywhere across the board. But we're well on our way.
You talked about coming into the spring game, you wanted to look at the discipline and keeping penalties down. Offense, I don't think you had any. You had 2 on defense, and one of them was a disqualification, sort of.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, that was, I thought, pretty clean ball on both sides. It was, I said, defensively we tackled really well, not having a lot of pre-snap penalties. Pretty clean football, certainly for a spring game, and that's, you know, we've been teaching the guys. You teach how to win, but you also teach how not to lose, and there's 2 sides of that. And so I thought we did a good job of avoiding some of the mistakes, and the guys played. The guys were excited to play today. I mean, they can. If you're in the city and don't feel the momentum about this program, you're not paying attention. And our guys feel it right now. And so they were amped to play this game, and it was good to see them settle and play focused and not out of control and undisciplined. And that, you know, our disciplined behavior for us is a big deal.
What the run game and O-line show you today?
It was a battle. I mean, I think we're going to be capable of running the ball very well. Our defense challenges us both physically and schematically every single day with it, and there's a lot of iron sharpens iron. So we had a couple of tough, good runs, but the defensively they made our offensive guys earn it. We tackled well. We were pretty physical defensively, so it was kind of like it's been. It was a battle, man. It's made both sides a lot better.
Like, you guys are going to be pretty active in the transfer portal over the next couple of weeks and months. How do you balance over that time, you know, not reaching for guys, but obviously like adding quality bodies so you're not at a disadvantage numbers wise? Yeah,
these guys know. We've told every one of the guys on the team. I mean, we've worked our ass off in the last 4.5 months to build a culture and to build a kind of standard within our program that we all believe in. And all that hard work, we are not about to put that at waste or risk that for any person, no matter how good of a football player they are. And so the team, all of us, everybody's very aware that we need to add some roster spots. I mean, it's obvious. There's no 2 ways about it. But they're going to be vetted by our staff. They're going to be vetted by our current players. And if they're, you know, we're looking for guys that are going to come in and add to that culture and want to buy into what these guys sitting up here, other guys in the locker room have worked so hard to do over the last 4.5 months, because we're not there yet. We got a long ways to go, but we have made a ton of progress here in the last 4.5 months. And guys that can come help and be a part of that and keep pushing that forward, we'll take a look at them. Guys that can't, you know, or guys that won't be a fit for us.
For Shane, obviously there's a lot of talk about the offense, but how would you, as a newcomer, assess the defense at and what you saw today from the unit?
Yeah, I was happy with what we did as a defense. I think we kind of settled down and played our game as the game went on. Just fast, physical, down here, attacking. You know, being sound on the calls, playing within the defense, you know, doing your job. You know, relying on your brother to do their job. Just having fun out there. It was a great day. The fans came out, had a great turnout. We appreciate the fans for that, and everybody was excited, like Coach said. I mean, it's, you know, you work so hard for 4 months, and this is the day that you work for. And it was a pretty good day, and I'm happy with the foundation that we built for the spring.
Andrew, how much of a difference could you sense in the atmosphere and the crowd and stuff like that?
Yeah, so couple spring balls under my belt here at this university. Just wrapped up my last one. Super proud of the offensive line and the offense. The credit to the defense as well. They really challenged us today. I think the O-line is taking the next step in the right direction that we need to, physically, as well as just buying into the culture and the schematics and this new system. So I'm really proud of our guys and the team's overall commitment to just buying in and just having this blind faith and believing that we're going to be successful, whether we see it ourselves now or not. Just buying in this process and just trusting coach. It's going to lead us a really long way to those 15th game in January. So,
what's changed about the culture and what's changed under Coach Riley?
I'd say probably Coach his just commitment to the team. He's not afraid to hurt anybody's feelings. He's not afraid to hold anybody accountable. He's one of the most genuine dudes I know, and he is. He just means, he says what he means what he says. So I think that's been the biggest thing so far with Coach Riley, his leadership.
Tuli, it was only 2 quarters, but you guys were able to run some guys in and out on the defensive line. Could you notice the difference being able to play with a rotation like that, having that kind of depth?
I'd say, yeah, it's for sure a good thing for us, being able to have 2 deep, being able to just rotate in whenever, and yeah, hopefully, like, we'll gain some more stamina to be able to stay longer than just 3 plays. But yeah, I'm feeling this rotation, and I like it for sure.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. Do we have one more for Coach Riley before I let some more players in?
Coach, last one. Coach, you mentioned earlier.
We'll get you 2.
Yeah, we got 2.
No, you had mentioned earlier, Coach, about the need to add bodies over the summer and spring. What do you see as the needs of the team, just body-wise, depth-wise, things like that, before starting next year?
I don't know. I've told the team this. I don't know that there's like one position where we're like so anemic that we can't really compete right now. I just think we just need a little bit everywhere, if that makes sense. I mean, I think of the bodies that we take, it's gonna be pretty spread out within the team. You're talking a guy here, a guy there, to add and build. As Andrew said, we want to build a roster that's going to last. You know, not build a roster that's just going to be great for one game here, one game there. If you want to run this gauntlet and be ready to beat your best each week, it takes that, because every guy matters, every roster spot matters, every single player matters, and so we certainly want to be at a competitive advantage, not at a disadvantage. And but I mean, the point really has to be understood. The guys that we have right now have set the foundation. The guys that we have right now, we are thrilled about. Now we want to add a few guys to them and what they've built up to this point.
Are there any extra memorable moments from today, or fist pump moments?
And you know, in there with the team in the locker room for the first time, you know, was cool. You kind of start to think about what that'll be in the fall. No, I just start thinking every moment of it. You know, every single moment. You know, coming down that tunnel for the first time certainly gives you chills. You check your pulse if it doesn't. That's one of those iconic like walks in our sport. You know, that I've never had a chance to do. Kind of glad I got to do it the first time with the USC visor on.
Thank you, Coach Riley.
All right, thanks everybody.
Any more for the players?
Travis, you've obviously been in all season before, but what's it like being a Cardinal gold for USC?
It's a little different. You know, it's definitely it's a little shock to me. You know, because I was getting flashbacks to when I was here before. But it's so much nicer being in this jersey, being in this Coliseum with this type of energy, these type of fans. You can't match it in college football. You know, and I'm very blessed and very lucky to be here.
What do you think of the way you played out there, especially you and Austin too, with all the talent in that group? What do you feel about the way the group played overall?
I think we played pretty good for how long it was. We have a few things to clean up still, but you know, that's what practice is for. But Austin did his thing. You know, Darwin Barlow did his thing. Outlaw got out there for a few plays. You know, we had a pretty good day today as right.
Caleb, how would you evaluate your own outing today?
Beginning was solid. The end not so solid. Got to get better at moving the ball. Second half, it's always big. There's always a new game. When you come out there second half, it's basically 0-0 every single time. So we'll get better, but being consistent. Defense did well, responding because we came out firing in the first half, and defense responded. So that's a good sign as always. And as offense, though, we got to get better. Myself also pushing the guys, make sure that we're all on point, locked in, focused. Because you never know what that drive could be. It could be the game winner, even if it's in the third quarter. And coming out as the first drive, and that's always big. So,
what those first two drives show about your trust and confidence in Mario and the relationship you guys have on the field?
The trust in the offense. I had a couple good shots to Rio for touchdowns, and that connection between me and Rio, as we all know, it goes back to the old school that I was at. So it was a smooth day, but we got to get better at a lot of different things.
What did you work on in the red zone offense specifically this spring? Last year was pretty rough with the squad. So what did y'all do to focus on?
With
the red zone offense.
For who?
Just for the offense.
For USC or for? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, pretty sure we were like 95% back.
Yeah.
So this year, I actually did not watch much of USC last year. It's a new offense, new culture, new coaches, a bunch of different new players. Big playmaking ability. So just the confidence in each other, confidence in the plays, and practice. Practice does a lot because, as we know, the red zone, I can't necessarily hit an 85-yard post because everything's all squished down. We're about 25 yards out, and everything has to be on point.
Travis.
Andrew, you finished one of those red zone drives with, I think, 3 straight runs to score. Just curious about, because you were here last year, can you just talk about how well you guys did in the red zone today? Andrew.
I think coming back to what I said earlier, just our commitment to be more physical up front and just trusting the technique and the mentorship from Coach Henson. I think that's really brought us a long ways with respect to last season, but there's totally a lot more stuff that we can do to become better in the red zone and be more efficient. So we're looking forward to that this offseason and just trying to figure out ways that we can become more efficient.
Tuli, you had 2 big tackles for loss. What's this defense going to allow you to do, and what's your excitement for the scheme?
I'm really starting to get a feel for his defense, and just being able to play free, play fast, just making plays. So, and that's what Grinch wants us to do: is just get vertical, get in the backfield, play on their side of the line of scrimmage, and hopefully we'll get the good results.
Is there anything different in the way you're used this year?
I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know. I just play ball.
Travis, Andrew talked about the physicality this year, and you've obviously had some success running in the stadium, playing for your other team before. Did you notice any of the defenders maybe tackling a little bit extra harder today?
No, our defense goes all out every day. That's not an issue for me. They're such a great defense, and they hit really hard, especially these 2 guys right here. Our competition level is out the roof right now, and it's almost, I've never been a part of a team where every single day during spring we're going all out every single play, no matter what. And so that's, very exciting, to be a part of a team like this, for sure.
Any smack talk today from you?
Huh?
Any smack talk from you today?
Not today. I do the smack talk on the sidelines to bring, the best out of the players, but when I'm on the field, I like to, be quiet and just play.
Shane, from your experience at Alabama, using that perspective, what did the spring show you about where this defense is and where it has to still get to?
Yeah, like we've been talking about, putting a lot of work this spring. It's been amazing to see the progress since I've gotten here. I'd say the biggest thing is just to keep on keeping on. There's nothing else to do but work going into the summer, evaluating the tape today and for the rest of the spring, and just knowing and increasing where guys are at as a collective, where we're at. Just keep building. Bringing in guys that are going to fit our culture, fit our team, fit our schemes, and just take it and run with it. There's no limits to what we can do. We got to do it together, do it, to the best of our ability every day. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Is there one area that's grown the most throughout spring?
I wouldn't say one area. I'd say really the culture. I think that's the biggest thing that I think these guys would agree with me. It's like that hits home for us. Like, becoming brothers and believing in the brotherhood and having trust within each other is the biggest thing for us. Schemes are great. Everybody has a scheme, but culture, you can't beat it, man. Like, we've really put in work, and it's been amazing to be up here with these guys and everybody else day in and day out. It's hard. It's not always fun, but it's necessary, and it makes it easier when you have guys that start putting on the line with you every day. So,
what is that process? How do you build culture over spring?
Accountability, discipline, trust, things like that. Just really core principles that we're trying to build this foundation with. Accountability, making sure guys are going to class and getting meals and doing what they need to do on and off the field. Making sure, if somebody's sleeping in, somebody's calling them like, yo, we got lifts, things like that, just little things, because everything matters, like Coach said. So you're not trying to, leave any stone unturned or, look back and say, oh, we would have. So we're trying to make sure everything is taken care of.
Caleb. All right, I'm going to let the non-quarterbacks go. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Andrew.
I was just going to ask you how it's been to develop chemistry with Travis in particular, how that's been this spring, and what you saw today in terms of what you guys have going on together.
Travis and I, we've had talks, and obviously we played versus each other for our last game, like December, January. So it was kind of cool coming back. I mean, I get to talk a little trash to him because we won, but just communicating. We'll sit down and we'll talk. We want to talk about ball. There are times where Travis needs help because obviously I've been in the playbook for a year and a half now. So I know a little bit more, and Travis has asked me questions. He's in game, out of game, just kind of his steps, how I want certain routes ran when he gets out in the backfield, when to look, when not to look, these certain looks that can help us proceed, like a check down. Check downs and first downs. So it's been great with our relationship. As we know, Travis is a cool guy. He's coachable, smart guy, and he's a baller. So it's been awesome.
Miller, what do you think of your performance out there today?
Yeah, felt good. Felt like the line blocked very well. Gave me some time. Just didn't feel. I think it started a little bit slow on the first drive, but kind of picked it up to that. I was really happy with how the guys made plays, how we blocked up front. Yeah, felt like it was good.
That touchdown pass feel good off the hand?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of once I saw it was 1-on-1, we're going at it. So Kyle made a heck of a play, so I was definitely happy about that one.
This was kind of your public unveiling here in LA. Were you excited about getting to play in front of the fans here for the first time? Were you nervous at all?
No, I don't really get nervous. It was really cool. Hopefully we get to pack it out really soon. But no, it was awesome coming out here and getting in front of a couple of fans and having ESPN and all of that. So showing the public where we're going to be, and we're not even close to where we actually are going to be. So it's awesome.
Miller, there was positive feedback from the coaches about your spring, but the fans hadn't seen anything. For you to have a play like that in front of the crowd, what did that mean to you?
Yeah, I think Coach Riley kind of touched on it, but he just wanted the spring game to be a reflection of what spring as a whole was. And I think that was the biggest focus going into the day, and then you kind of got to treat it like any other practice. And I think I was able to do that, and I hope the fans had a good time as well. So.
Anything else?
Yeah, one follow-up. Some players are talking about how the culture has changed, and Andrew in particular said, Coach isn't afraid to hurt people's feelings. And I just wondered for both of you, what you've seen in the spring, any moments that that sort of epitomized what he's done to change the culture? If it is like hurting someone's feelings or your feelings for that matter, what's happened?
We have a bunch of guys in this team. The previous year didn't do so well. We got guys in this team that want to ball, want to win big games. We've been doing that. We've been progressing and doing pretty well with that. But a big part of it is being coachable. And sometimes you just got to eat it. So whatever you gotta take it. And the coach, he might say something that you might not like, and you gotta listen to what he says. I mean, he is your coach. But also just the culture fact of these guys here. We have a leadership group. We have a leadership group that we meet. How many times? I mean, we meet every week or so. And one of the biggest things is that elite teams are led by the players, held accountable by the players. Good teams, they're led by the coaches, held accountable by the coaches. And the poor teams, there's nobody that does that. We've been trying to be the elite team, so we've been having a lot of players step up into leadership roles, be more commanding, have a voice. But to have that, you have to work, and to work. And when you're working hard, you build loyalty, you build trust, and you have those moments where you can speak up and hold your other teammates accountable. So.
Yeah. After Miller's done.
Just as someone that was here last year and went through that, I don't think we lack the players and the personalities within the locker room to have good leadership. I just think there wasn't a forum that fostered leadership, and I think with Coach Riley and the staff coming in, we've been given a playbook, so to speak, on how to do that and structure within that. So I think that's one thing that's really, really helpful. And then Caleb kind of touched on it, but I think the other thing is that no one guys above coaching that goes from media